Namaste, everyone. My name is Nirmala. I'm from Chicago. We want to start the program with the prayer. So Nandini Garu is going to start the prayer. So Nandini Garu, please start your prayer.
Namaskaram. This is Nandini Bukaraju. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sri Ganeshaya Namaha Sri Saraswate Namaha Sri Pada Vallabha Narasimha Saraswati Sri Guru Dattatreya Namaha.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much, Nandini Garu. So today's Zoom call is actually we started something. I just wanted to start a little bit about how we came to conclusion to start this Zoom call. So I was watching lot of times, a lot of messages which are coming from someone which I don't know anything about them. Then I was very curious because we were doing similar work from many years, but we are not doing that structured way. I was very impressed. So Anna, then I told him, so I want to know more about the work you're doing because I'm very curious to know how this is happening. So then when I was talking, so he was ready to explain everything. Then I thought maybe listening only myself is not good enough. So I thought maybe I'll call all my friends who are like-minded people can join and we can actually share, learn more about these activities. So that's how I got entered into this Zoom call event. So I would like to introduce none other than the very dedicated and I heard from many of the people after I talked to Anna about him. So I wanted to introduce Sri Dr. Prakash Rao Velagapudi ji. Is the president of GHHF, the Global Hindu Heritage Foundation. Prakash Rao Velagapudi ji came to US in 1965, completed his PhD degree and worked in academia for 36 years before retiring in 2006. He was fortunate enough to get involved in various religious and spiritual activities over the last 35 years. He was one of the founding members of Hindu Temple Society of Mississippi and served as its president from 1986 to 1991. During this period, 7,000 square feet Hindu temple was built and consecrated in 1990 with Lord Venkateshwara as the Moolamurti. He also participated in the construction and Kumbhabhishekam of Datta Temple in Baton Rouge and the Karyasiddhi Hanuman Temple in Frisco, Texas. He is the chairman of Datta Yoga Center since 1993 as per the instructions of Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji. He moved to Frisco, Texas in May 2009 to help and coordinate the planning of construction of 32,000 square feet Karyasiddhi Hanuman Temple on a 10-acre lot. He conducted several tours and lectured various aspects of Hinduism to the Americans, high school students, and college students who visited Karyasiddhi Hanuman Temple. In 2006, Global Hindu Heritage Foundation was started by a group of highly professional people in USA with the sole objective of freeing the Hindu temples from government control and protecting Hinduism in India. Serving as president of GHHF since its inception, he conducted numerous programs with Dr. Subramania Swamy in India and then USA over the last 10 years. Helping and working with Dr. Swamiji is to release the temples from government control. Sri Swami Paripurnananda ji is also actively participating in GHHF activities. He coordinated to release Devalayam, which is in Hindi we call Mandirs, and organized an international short film festivals, conducted short documentary film festivals, performed Maha Kumbhabhishekam, contributed to Goshalas and temples renovations, enabled the passage of government order prohibiting the sale of temple lands, aided the passage of Nandula Arti Day and Goa Dinotsava Day by AP government, and conducting Hindu Dharmik Sammelana in 2017. He also helped install murtis of Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanuman in Dalit community in March 2018. So in 2020, GHHF helped. So we all know that time the COVID was hit very hard. So GHHF helped provide 10,205 meals to first responders in Dallas area. He provided almost 1 lakh meals to needy during COVID-19 time in 6 different locations. Rupees 5,000 and sari provided to 145 archakas. Priests in Vijayawada provided 2 weeks supply of dry fruit items to about 500 priests in Krishna district. Distributed kashayam to about 50,000 people in Visakhapatnam. Provided food to cows, monkeys, birds, and other animals in Anantapura area. So GHS also does the Garvapsi program started in 6 locations, which is Tirupati, Guntur, Visakhapatnam, Anantapur, Bhadrachalam, and Hyderabad. So GHHF also have full-time pracharaks who have converted more than 4,000 families by the end of May 2021. The plans are underway and lot of works is going on in both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So Anna has also got lot of awards. So to tell I can say few of them here, he received Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji of Avaduta Datta Pritam awarded Vishwa Hindu in December 2013 in the presence of Sri Subramanya Swamiji in Mysore. NATS awarded the title Spiritual Sena Leader. Yuva Kalavahini conferred the title Swami Vivekananda Excellence Award. And Thana issues Distinguished Service Award. TTD and Hindu Dharma Parikshana Trust invited to attend Dharmik Sadasu in 2015. In 2017, Tirupati Bharati TV recognized the service to Hinduism and conferred Dharma Premika Award in February 2017 Hyderabad. I think the way the work is happening on the ground, these awards really just nothing. So we need to get more than all these awards and honors, I feel. So, and also Anna written a lot of books and articles. So I'm going to share some of them in the chart. So if anyone interested, please go ahead and read these things. For example, a few of them like Wonders of Holy Masters, like they have volume 1, 2, 3, and God Word, they have volumes 1, 2, 3 again. A lot more. So I'm going to share those in the chart. So with this, I would like to invite Dr. Prakash Rao Garu to share all these activities which are going on ground. I was very excited. It's not just in theory or preaching or just talking or sharing any post everywhere in the social media, but real work is going on the ground. So he's going to share now. Anna, please welcome and share your thoughts and your views and all your activities. We are very eager to hear from you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Nirmala. I'm glad that we got connected and probably about a month ago. So since that time, you have taken a lot of interest and you contacted a lot of people. So now you are coordinating this event. So Global Hindu Heritage Foundation is very, very appreciative of your effort to see that the word gets around to other people also. I think the topic is about the Garvapsi and then Bal Samskar, that is Sunday schools. First of all, I think we all have to recognize the Hindu house or Hindu edifice is on fire. I don't think the way the things are going, I don't see too much future for Hinduism in India at this particular time. We are being attacked in every direction. The Christians, the Muslims, and Hindus. Probably Hindus are doing more damage than probably other two religions combined. We Hindus are the one who have become so selfish, accept name, fame, and money. I don't think they are interested in anything else. Just only by the name they are Hindus. And in some cases, some of these Hindus hide their real religion and they're hiding behind all these positions and all that. So in order to get the position, they almost do anything and everything. I keep saying the same thing, that in the Hindu politicians, they are the ones who are actually destroying our culture. Poor people, they just follow the leader. They have no clue what their leader stands for, because many of us as Hindus have no concept of what Hinduism stands for, what it means, the richness of it, the glory of it, the depth of it, and the extent of knowledge that we have in our scriptures. Many, many foreigners have read our scriptures. Many Nobel laureates got inspiration from Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and Vedas. And many, many famous people actually talked about the richness of our culture. So there is not a single thing under the sun that our ancient rishis have not addressed. This is the quotation by Mark Twain. Any topic you can talk about, it is addressed. So with this kind of rich knowledge, we Hindus have been deprived of this knowledge. So that means there is some disconnect between our scriptures and our knowledge. So over a period of time, you realize that we have not been taught so many things from childhood. So as a result, we almost have become paupers in our own religion. So this is with this background, then I will come back to the Bal Samskar in a few minutes. So, but we will go into Garvapsi. As Nirmala ji mentioned, we have done a lot of things over the last 15, 16 years. Then during the pandemic, so we thought we need to do something to help our Hindus, not necessarily Hindus, anybody for that matter. We started this Annadanam. We served more than 1 lakh meals in about 6 different locations in Andhra and Telangana. And then we served, meals, dry goods for the priests, and done many things. After we have done it, we are trying to see, with all the things, whatever we have done, why is it our Hindu population is not increasing? It is decreasing day by day. Many of us have been doing many things for many, many centuries. We have been writing books. We have been discussing endlessly on certain topics. Now the WhatsApp has come. Everybody keeps forwarding everything, and we still are building the temples. We are doing a lot of worship services. We are engaged in many, many art and music, many other things. So if you look at the kind of things that we are doing, you naturally expect our numbers to increase. But unfortunately, it is decreasing. So why is it that we are not able to convince our people? Why is it that we are not able to increase our numbers? Realizing that there is a disconnect between all the activities that we are doing and the end result. With that in mind, after months of agony, frustration, not finding the answer, not knowing what to do, so Global Hindu Heritage Foundation decided that we need to come up with a different idea to see that our Hinduism is at least protected from the onslaught of the Christians and the Muslims. That is how this Garvapsi came into existence. We thought we have to really do at the ground level. All these books and everything, as I mentioned, I feel every Hindu will pause for a minute and think, whatever I am doing, am I increasing the numbers? Am I educating the people? Education is one, but implementation is different. If I know some knowledge, if I know something, how come I don't want to implement something? everybody you have seen, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own suggestions. Everybody makes so many recommendations. But tell me what percentage of the people will say, hey, I know this is the problem. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to participate in this one. I'm going to contribute this particular thing. What percentage of the Hindus will say it? I don't know. I don't want to venture it, but we know not many people show any interest. But discussion, endless. We do it, all that. So eventually, we decided that we should start this Garvapsi, because that is the only way we can bring back those Christians who have left our religion, either by force, either by allurement, either by enticement, whatever the reasons could be. So we feel that we have to bring these people back into our fold. That is how we started. And with the 4 pracharaks we started in the beginning. And then eventually we have about 20 pracharaks today at the ground level in Andhra and Telangana. And in order for them even to go and knock on the doors of the Christians and Hindus, we have to have some kind of documentation or some information to distribute. That is how we developed a 4-page flyer talking about the constitutional rights of the Hindus and what are the things that they might lose. That means the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe people would lose if they get converted to Christianity. So that 4-page information, we have it with all our pracharaks, and also prepared 52-page book comparing Bhagavad Gita and Bible. And this book is probably creating more sensation and basically a lot of fear and discussion going on in the Christian community. Many people have called, some of them actually even threatened our pracharaks, saying this particular book, where we have about 44, 45 verses from the Bible, which are so nasty and which are really immoral, incest, rape, stoning, all kinds of passages. It is so inhumane. It is almost impossible to describe some of the statements that you will find in the Bible. I dare to say that I don't think even 1% of the Christians have ever read the entire Bible. It is that kind of book. Mark Twain says, the cure for Christianity is read the Bible. The cure for Christianity, read the Bible. If anybody who reads the Bible from one end to the other end, he will never be a Christian. It is that nasty, that is that repulsive, that is that kind of hatred you will see in the Bible. So this is the book that we are distributing to other places, to all the villages and through our pracharaks. What is it that we need to do in order to improve on that one? And what is it we can do in order to expand our base? So we are also doing actually that not only we are trying to bring back those people who have left, but we also are trying to equip our own Hindus in the villages to make sure they are aware of what is written in the Bible and Bhagavad Gita. Because once our Hindus are aware of what is written in the Bible, I feel they will be equipped with some knowledge whereby they can challenge the Christians or the pastors or the missionaries when they come to the village. So it happened at least on three different occasions, because when the pastors came and talked about the real God, Jesus is the only real God and all that. So some of the villagers, they showed this book and asked them if is this what they believe in. So they are afraid to even answer that question, and so they just left. They walked out of it. So the point is, that is the reason in the churches, nobody is allowed to ask a question. Nobody is allowed to ask a question. At Karyasiddhi Hanuman temple, as you mentioned, as Nirmala mentioned, we have 300 students come. In fact, today is the last batch. We had, for the last 3 days, we had about 300 students come to our temple. So about, not this time, last time, I was talking about how much discussion that we have in our scriptures and how much freedom that we have as Hindus to ask questions. Talked about the Gurukula concept, and we mentioned Hindus will never accept anything without discussing, without dialogue, without debate. If I have a question, I have to ask and I need to get a response from somebody before I agree or disagree. So that is what I was telling the students, American students who came to us. After we completed the discussion, the teacher who brought the students, she came to me and said, Dr. Rao, I wish you would come to my church and tell my pastor that she can ask a question. So she is a teacher who will answer the questions of the students in the class, but she can't ask a single question to the pastor, find out why it is written the way it is written. So basically, they don't have that kind of concept. So what we are saying is, we have to equip our Hindus with the knowledge regarding Bible as well as Bhagavad Gita. Once they are equipped, then you will see that they will be the protector of our Hinduism. Now, this particular book, he has reached in different states, different locations, and this book is now translated into Kannada and Tamil. It is in the print. It is already translated into English, and it is also is being translated in Hindi. I think half of the book is ready. So this way, what is happening? So everybody is trying to look at the real danger for the Hinduism, and they feel that book is the one that we have to have it in every Hindu's hand so that they can be the soldiers, they can defend themselves. So with our pracharaks, so I think we have about 2-3 of our pracharaks are attending today. So they are the real heroes. They are the ones who just go to the villages, who knock on the doors of the Christians as well as Hindus, go to the temples, go to the churches, and keep talking about how rich our culture is and why they should come back. And so they have succeeded to a large extent. I would say for the last 1.5 years, we were able to bring back close to 5,500 Christians back into the Hindu fold. So that is as far as the Garvapsi is concerned. So Garvapsi is the one that we feel every one of us have to get involved in it and try to knock on the doors of all the Christians, talk about the richness of our culture, and also make sure that they will understand the logic behind our Hinduism. Once they agree to get converted, so we actually also do what is called Shuddhi program. So most of them, so we want to take them to the temple and then do Homa. They will also participate in the Homas. They will also do all the rituals, and then they come back and then take a oath saying that they will remain in Hindu Dharma, Hindu fold, and then they will be actually practicing Hindu customs and all that. So that is the nature of our Garvapsi. Now, even though we are trying to get some people back into our fold, we realized about 2.5 months ago, we are losing a lot of people at the younger kids at the ground level about these young people. So these youngsters, the youth, If we lose these people, basically, I think we can forget about the survival of the Hinduism. So what the Christians are doing is they are trying to woo them, entice them, bribe them, and then give some chocolates or biscuits or whatever it is, and taking Sunday, every Sunday, to the churches and talking about as if Jesus is the real God. So realizing the potential danger, what is happening at the ground level to the children, we started this Bal Samskar, which is Sunday school. We started with 35 locations and mainly villages, except probably 3 or 4 of them. And we have started about 1 month ago. On an average, we have about 22 students in each in these classes. So basically, some of the things that we are teaching is, I will give you just a brief. Of course, we will start with Om, and then Ganapati prayer, Guru Stotram, and then we also talk about the Surya Namaskaras and some moral story about the national heroes who sacrificed their life, the scientific nature of Hinduism, the uniqueness of our Hindu temples, and then coming festivals and any story from either Ramayana, Mahabharata, Purana, and the bhajans, and then some meditation, chanting of at least 1 or 2 shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita. These are some of the things that we are going to cover, not necessarily all of them in any given class, but over a period of time, we will try to cover as much as possible. So, but we have to keep in mind, why is it that we are not able to understand our own religion? Why is it that we don't have any, we are not equipped with the adequate knowledge? For centuries, it is not the recent phenomena. For centuries, we know that there was no formal transmission of knowledge. Our parents were not given adequate information, and they did not give us adequate information. I don't think we are doing the kind of job that we need to do even for our own children. So as a family, over the centuries, we have failed to transmit that knowledge to children. So what is the other alternative? Schools. After independence, the school curriculum has been revised in such a way that it has become anti-Hindu, the pro-Islamic, pro-Christian curriculum. So as a result, our kids are learning about the Islam and Muslim Christians rather than Hindu heroes who have sacrificed their life, who probably has received the independence from the British. So these schools are not doing their job. The third one is temples, Hindu temples. Whatever the reason, for many, many centuries, Hindu temples have not been conducting any Sunday schools or any formal transmission of the knowledge. So if our kids have been denied of the knowledge from these three, that is the family, the school, and the temple, where would they get this knowledge? If they don't have the adequate knowledge, they can be easy target for the Christians and the Muslims. So in order to prevent being targeted by Christians, this is how we started this Bal Samskar in 45 locations. And I think last week we announced that we want to make sure that we will have at least 75 schools by the end of December. And I'm sure we will succeed. We have been talking to a lot of people, and everybody is realizing what is happening. I think one thing is certain, there is more awareness of the potential danger to Hinduism, and many people are really concerned about what is happening. I am hoping this trend will continue, and hopefully we will revive the Hinduism. To what extent we will do it, it all depends on how much time that we take and how much devotion that we have, because it all depends on the groundwork. If we don't really do at the ground level, if we don't take active role, then we will not succeed. First of all, we should know something about our history also. If you look at the Islamic period, if you look at the British period, and since independence, everybody is only attacking Hinduism. So how do we deal with this kind of situation? So that is the reason we all have to pause everything. We need to pause everything. Everybody should pause for a minute. We have written books, as I mentioned, we have been discussing, we have been doing all these things. Unless whatever activity I am doing now, if it is not going to increase the number of our Hindu population, enrich them with our knowledge, that whatever efforts we are doing, basically we are delaying or prolonging the survival of our existence. The sooner we get involved, the sooner we come into the contact with all the villagers and see that the children are educated, they are enriched with our Hindu rituals, Hindu customs, sooner we will be better off. So that's the reason we feel we have to expand these two activities. One, Garvapsi. That means we have to go to other, increase the number. At the same time, we also want to make sure that we express our desire to bring as many people as possible, and then increase the number of Sunday schools also. Keep in mind, as I mentioned, that these books are translated into 2 other languages. So in Karnataka, so it is being used, actually, somebody has started. In Tamil Nadu, we had 2 pracharaks. I think today, this morning, I posted one post basically talking about 2 pracharaks who have donated 400 bags of rice to the needy people who are flood victims. So now they are going to be our pracharaks in Tamil Nadu, that is very close to Chennai, and so they are also employed. And now we also employed one more person in Goa, so that person is also. In the same way, in the Golden Temple, I think some of you heard the Golden Temple in Vellore. The Petalipati is called Amma. So the Amma looked at this book, got it translated immediately. Now it is already printed. Now Amma is, I requested Amma to go ahead and hire 2 people, and he is planning to do in the next week or so. So we will also do it in the Vellore area. So my request to all of you is, see what is it you can do to enrich our culture, prevent the disaster that is impending because of our own Hindu politicians, Christians, and the Muslims. The sooner we realize it, the better it is for us in order to make sure that Hinduism survives. There is a lot of action going on. Let us support as much as possible and make sure that we also enrich our kids. That is the most important thing. If we lose our kids, we probably lost our whole country. So as many Sunday schools as possible, we need to start and then try to conduct these schools. And so that way our children will not become target for the Christians and other religions. And so they will remain Hindus and they will take pride in it. Once they take pride, they will hold on to it. They are our strength. They are our future. They are going to be our ambassadors. So let us make sure that we will try to teach as much as possible to the students in our Bala Samskar, that is Sunday school. So with that one, and even though we are doing just one point, so we are also contributed to a large extent during this Kartik Masam in order to see that temples in Dalit communities have also participated in the celebration of this Diwali and Kartik Mas Deepas. So that one also we have done to a large extent. A lot of other things we have done, but today we thought we'll just concentrate on only those two, that is Garvapsi and then Bala Samskar. So with that one, just I close my presentation, and then I think I will leave it up to Nirmala ji to talk about our next program.
Thank you very much. And it's really great information you shared. We all know a little bit here and there, but the depth of the information you shared is really enormous. So thank you very much, and sparing your time and sharing all these things.